Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of my all-time favorite books that I've read or I'm currently reading. Just books that have really spoken to me, really encouraged me, really challenged me, or have just been a really good read overall. I thought it'd just be kind of fun to do this and share this with you guys because not too long ago I had a friend give me a call asking what's a good book to read, and I realized that so oftentimes I'll go to bookstores or I'll have some free time and I don't know what book to pick up. So I just thought it'd be really sweet to share with you guys some books that I hope you guys enjoy and can just learn from. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed and comment down below what your all-time favorite book is. I definitely love to know what it is so that I can get my hands on it and read it and just indulge in it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have quite a few books with me today, so I'm gonna go ahead and share them with you guys in different categories. I have a couple that I think are really good as far as relationships go. I have a couple books in here that are really good faith-based or devotional books, and then I have some books in here that are just simply really good storylines that I think you guys would enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started. The first few books that I'm going to start off with are about relationships. They are about marriage, about dating, about being single, and honestly just knowing your heart as a woman or as a man, wherever you fall in that category. The very first book is this one right here. It's called Love That Lasts. And it's by Jefferson and Elizabeth Key. I talk about this couple a lot actually because I am a fan of a lot of their books and of their podcast and their YouTube channel. But anyway, fangirling over here. But they basically wrote this book. It's about love, dating, sex, marriage, all that good stuff. And to give you a quick snippet, it basically says how we discovered God's better way for love, dating, marriage, and sex. So it's basically a book that takes you along on both of their own personal testimonies and then how they ended up where they ended up and now what it's like for them to be married, have kids, so on and so forth. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about God's heart when it comes to love, dating, sex, and marriage, and if you guys just want to check out what their testimony is, I definitely recommend this book. It is so good, and that's the first one I have in regards to relationships. The next two books that I have for relationships are these two right here. And the reason I show them together is because they're actually from the same author. And if you read one, you gotta read the other because this one is for all the girls out there. This one is for all the guys out there. Although if you're a girl, you should still read this one. And if you're a guy, you should still read this one. It's basically unveiling the mystery of a woman's soul and then unveiling the mystery of a guy's soul. The reason I loved these books was because it kind of gives you a glimpse into God's heart for a woman and for a man, and then kind of how we as females should be approaching a man's heart and how males should be approaching a female heart, if that makes sense. I've gone through this entire book, but this one I'm actually not done with, but so far it's really good, and those who have finished it have said that it is really good. But needless to say, the reason I love these books is because you really gain a perspective of understanding the opposite sex and then what God's heart and vision is for both sexes. I recommend that you guys get your hands on this one if you want to learn a little bit more about relationships and also just kind of the topic of singleness and how to figure yourself out before you go about getting in a relationship. The very last book that I have in regards to relationships is The Meaning of Marriage by Tim Keller. I don't have an actual physical copy of it because I lent it to someone and I still haven't gotten it back, but here's a little picture of it so you guys can see what it looks like. This book, I actually read it for one of my courses in YWAM, but it was so good. I read it so fast. It basically is what the title says. It's The Meaning of Marriage. It talks about God's design for marriage, what it means to be married, what it means to serve your spouse, everything about arguments, serving one another, sex, just literally everything. It was such a good book, and at the end of the day, you're never going to be fully ready for marriage because you've never been married. It's something that you've never done before, so it's still going to be so new to you, but I really loved the fact that I got the chance to read it, and Grayson got the chance to read it because it really just enlightens you and shares a lot about what God's heart is for marriage and how we as spouses should be serving one another. So it is such a good read. I definitely recommend it. Even if you're not married, if you're not engaged, if you're still single, it's still definitely a book that I would recommend. The next set of books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys are more faith-based and devotional books. The very first book is this one. It's called Jesus is Greater Than Religion, and this book is actually also from the author Jefferson Bethke. And this book was actually one of the very first books that I read pertaining this author, and he actually made a spoken word on YouTube called Jesus is Greater Than Religion, and it's the reason I actually came about his channel in the first place. But anyway, this book basically is somewhat of his testimony, but then also just how he learned that like Jesus is so much greater than religion. It talks about how Christianity is not just about our deeds and our works and what we do and don't do. It's not about like trying to be the best that there is, but just knowing that the whole point of Christianity is a relationship with Christ. It's knowing that like Jesus died for us, and he says that like, you know, we don't have to work our way up to making it to heaven or work our way in a relationship with him, if that makes sense. So this book is just really good to read if you're struggling with understanding what Christianity should look like and what it means to be a Christian and not just do a bunch of works and deeds, but actually have a relationship with God. So I definitely recommend this one, and also check out his spoken word, really good. The next one that I have is Draw the Circle. This book is more so of a devotional book, and the reason I say that is because each chapter is called like day 1, day 2, day 3. There's not necessarily like chapters, it's more so like each day you read a portion of the book. And the reason I love this book is because it encourages you to pray, and it kind of helps you know how to pray, because each day is like a different prayer point. So it has a little devotional, and it's like a 2-page thing. It's super fast. So like if you're struggling with like finding time for it, it's just a quick read. It's just a couple pages, and then at the end it has like a little keynote, kind of a quick summary of what that chapter is about, and then kind of a prayer point to be praying over yourself or whatever it is that you're reading about. It's literally called Draw the Circle, the 40-day prayer challenge. So it's a 40-day devotional book to challenge the way you pray and the way you look at life. So I definitely recommend this one. It's just really good little like devotional points that you learn a lot. Like this book was so good that sometimes like I pick it up and I want to do it all over again. So I definitely recommend this one. It's from Mark Batterson. He also has a lot of other really good books that I haven't checked out, but I've heard really good things about. So honestly, just look up the author, because really good books. But this would be another one that I recommend. And then the very next book that I have is also faith-based, because it is like a more Christianity type of book, but it's also a book just about our generation and about our culture, and it's called To Hell with the Hustle. It's from Jefferson Bethke. As you guys can see, I have a pretty good author that I like. But I actually just got this book in the mail, and I am so honored, because I got the opportunity to get this book sent over before it's even released. So this book is not out yet, but you guys should pre-order it if you haven't already, because I'm already loving it and I'm not even that far into the book. But needless to say, it's basically, I'm gonna read you like the little header because it like summarizes the whole book, but it's so good. It says, reclaiming your life in an overworked, overspent, and overconnected world. So basically, to hell with the hustle. I'm not gonna do a great summary because I haven't finished the book, but from my understanding, this book is basically, there's so many constant demands in our culture, and we're always like, I need to do more, I need to accomplish more. Like we're finding our identity in like all the things that we need to get done, all the things that we need to achieve. And there's just like this constant pressure, I feel, that like culture is always like, you know, like you're not gonna be successful and you're not doing enough, and like you need to hustle so that you can get where you wanna be. So that's basically the gist of this book. It's talking about, you know, like that's not how God designed us. He didn't design us for us to be like constantly stressed, constantly anxious or depressed, or finding our identity in things that are not Him. So again, I haven't finished this book, so sorry if that wasn't the best summary, but so far I've been loving it, and you guys should really check it out because man, I've loved all of his books so far So I know that this is definitely one that like I'm gonna like once I finish it. But I just think it has such a powerful message, and I feel like our generation can really relate to it. So you guys should check it out. Order it. There you go. That's the last one that I have in regards to faith. And then the last two books that I'm going to be talking about today are kind of just some like really random, like really good reads that I had. I did not share all of the books that I've loved or read in this video, because then this video would be super, super long. And I also can't find all of my books right now because not everything's unpacked yet. But anyway, so I'll probably do a part 2 to this video. Let me know down below if you're interested. But the very last two books that I'm going to be sharing for today are very, very random, but the very first one is Stephen King on writing. This is super, super random, and I never thought that I'd be like recommending this book, just because this was a book that I actually had to read for school. And if you guys look, I have like all these little sticky notes of like notes that like I was required to make as like part of a school like assignment or whatever. But basically, I don't know, I ended up loving this book so much, and I'll tell you guys why. This book is basically, if you guys don't know, the author is Stephen King. He has a ton of books out there, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't read any of them, okay? However, I did read this one, and this one's basically on writing, okay? He literally talks about his process as a writer, how he became a writer, writer's block, writing tips, writing points. This book honestly made me and encouraged me more in wanting to learn more about writing, see if writing was something that I wanted to invest more time in, and if it was like a passion or like a gift that I wanted to develop, if that makes sense. I definitely want to write a book someday. Don't know when that's going to happen or what it's going to be about, but this book is just really, really sweet. I think that if you're in school and you just want tips on like how to write better or get inspired to write, I think this book definitely will help you out. But also, like, if you're interested in like, you know, developing a passion or a gift in writing, or if you're just curious about it in general, I think this book is just really, really good, really, really informative. I went through it a lot faster than I thought I would, but again, really random, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. So check it out if you can. And then the very last book that I'm going to be sharing today is actually more of, not a children's book, but like younger age, back in the day. I actually asked for this book for my birthday. We read it for school, and I loved it so much that I wanted to have my own copy for it, so my mom bought it for me for my birthday. It's called The Inventions of Hugo Cabret. Look at how cute this cover is. And this book, let me show you why I just think it's so cool. Okay, this book literally has so many awesome pictures in it, okay? So the book is pretty thick if you look at it, and it obviously has like, wow, let me find it. It obviously has like words and stuff in it, but it also, look, it also has so many pictures. And it's so like, I don't know, I just loved it so much because I felt like you were really inside of the story. And also they came out with a movie like years later, which was also really cool. But anyway, I think that I liked this book so much just because like it was for my age at the time. But I just love everything about it because it's a really good storyline. Like, it's just really random, but it's a really good storyline. And I just think that the fact that there's pictures and like a way for you to engage in the book, more so than just like reading words and stuff, just makes it a lot more fun. And I don't know, I just loved it. So super random, but if you guys are interested, I just thought I'd throw it out there because I really enjoyed it, and I just think it's one of those like fun, really cute books to like have in your bookshelf, and also just like to dive into. So that's the last one, and I think that was it. So it's basically it for today's video. Those are just some of the few books that I've read that have really spoken to me, really encouraged me, so on and so forth. So I just really wanted to share that with you guys so that you guys could get your hands on them if you don't have anything to read, or if you're just wanting a new book. Again, I have so many other book recommendations, so if you guys are like wanting to hear more about like certain books on relationships, about faith, or really good reads, like whatever topic you guys are interested in reading about, comment down below and I'll definitely do another video with books geared around those topics. Or if you guys are interested in knowing what podcasts I listen to or anything along those lines, I'd definitely love to share that stuff with you guys, because I think that reading and listening to podcasts and all that stuff is just really encouraging, really uplifting, and I feel like you learn a lot about yourself, about life. So I just really wanted to take the time to share that with you guys. And again, comment down below like what some of your favorite books, and I will definitely look into them and see if I can get my hands on one of them. But yeah, that's basically it. So make sure and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on Tuesday, and have a great weekend. Bye.